Oh, what the shit? Oh, there's an expansion. Oh yeah. It easily forgives mistakes in combat. Let's try easy. Yeah, what I was going to say is I want to preface this by saying this stream is next on my list after Talos Principle 2. It is something I'm really interested in playing. It looks fascinating from a narrative gameplay perspective. Right now, I am doing this to test if this will still lock up all of my keyboard bindings. Because I want to know for sure if OBS is the problem, or if maybe Talos Principle 2 is causing the issue. Because I was having some issues streaming Destiny, but not a lot. But yeah, so before I start this, my introduction to this game was from a Noah Gervais video on the game. And I started listening to it and realized I don't know what game this is. And I'm so curious to find out. And I learned that it's from the same team as Fallout New Vegas, which is an excellent game. And kind of steps into the role of like the Baldur's Gate games, like the earlier ones, which are also on my list. But frankly, I need someone with me who knows how to play those games, because frankly, I am not good at it. I think my stream of oh shit, what's it called? Not Pathfinder. Planescape Torment showed that I am not good at those games unless they are babied down using a system I know. Like 5e, which is why I love Baldur's Gate 3 so much. But let's try this. We're gonna try normal and see how bad this is.
For over 400 years, the armies of Kairos the Overlord have swept across the known world. All who stood against them fell before their might. Even the Archons, women and men of immense power, were forced to kneel, chained to the Overlord's will. Now Kairos' final conquest has come to our corner of the world, and two of the Overlord's armies compete for the honor of taking our lands. The elite disfavored, and the teeming horde of the Scarlet Chorus. The voices of Nerat, spymaster and Archon of secrets, guides the fierce and undisciplined masses of the Scarlet Chorus. With each battle, the Scarlet Chorus grows stronger, as the defeated are given a simple choice: serve or die. Graven Ash, Archon of War and the Overlord's most loyal general, leads the disfavored. Though small in number, Kairos' ironclad legion has never met true defeat in open battle. Watching over the two generals is Tunon, the Adjudicator, Archon of Justice, eldest of Kairos' minions. Tunon brings Kairos' laws to newly conquered lands, aided by the Fatebinders, judges and executioners of the Overlord's laws. You were among the youngest of the court of Fatebinders when Kairos' armies came to our lands. How could we have known that the fate of thousands would rest in your hands?
Right. So brick shithouse, regular shithouse, or twink. Or fem body type number 1, short fem body type number 1, or buff fem body type. Alright. This isn't that kind of game. But roll. In the Northern Empire, where you were born, women enjoy equal protections under the laws to Overlord Kairos. In the southern lands of the Tears, only men may own captain ships, but real estate is restricted to women. Hey, sounds like someone's stealing from Robert Jordan. Which one of the cities was that? Was that... Oh, no, that's gonna bother me. While following a parent's profession is standard, men and women choose to pledge service to one of the Overlord's powerful Archons, those without a viable trade or lands to call their own are often drafted into the armies of the Archon, where it is assumed they will rise to glory or vanish in obscurity in accordance to their worth. Most sons enter their father's profession by their mid-teens. Those without a profession or family lands to work and find purpose by pledging service to the Overlord's mighty Archons. Criminals, derelicts, and others are often conscripted into the armies of the Archon. If a child cannot forge his own scheme, will certainly find one in battle. So, we're going to play a woman. We're going to play fem body type number 1.
That wasn't so hard.
Alright, let's do some body paint. And I am so uncomfortable. Okay. Face and hair. We have option 1, option 2, option 3, option 4, and option 5. Going with option 1. Of course there's scrolling options? Of course not. Alright, do we have a butch hair option? Yep, we do. I really wish we weren't stuck on this screen. Alright. So. This shit did this one go? Around the hands. Ooh. I actually really like that one. Like a flaming fist kind of thing. Alright, and a portrait. Oh, they didn't gender lock portraits. there one with my hairstyle? Okay. I like the idea of being a diplomat. I'm not actually trained in war or anything. I joined this army because I'm a fucking nerd. Though they would never tell you why, Kairos bestowed great wealth upon your family. For some unmentioned service, and your parents used this wealth to have you raised far from home. Your childhood was a nomadic tour of Terratis with hired tutors and fleeting friendships. Where others had stability and routine, you had worldly and varied education. I'm going with diplomat. Now, I go back here. I don't want blades, I want one that looks like a nerd. Okay, still diplomat. Alright, primary expertise. Atrophy spells, frost spells, vigor spells, or shock spells. Alright. I think I'm going with casting. Atrophy magic drains the skills and attributes. Yeah. Okay, cool. So this is our support caster. This is our damage caster. Unarmed attacks are this. Shortens shield to get me. Like, I like the idea of having a buff-centric, buff and debuff centric game style. Alright. What is my sigil? I don't think it would be violent. So maybe the three rings, maybe stars, maybe just the Orzhov. We could do something really dark like that. My armor, I think I'll have it purple and blues, and I can't change if it black's the default. Cool, cool, cool. Dark purple, yeah. Nice and simple. but I do want some kind of meaning for it. Right. Let's go with that. Name. Alexandre Dumont. Alright. Let's not just full min-max. Might, physical strength, increased might leads to powerful attacks as well as increasing endurance defense. You know what? Let's just do my 2 magic-y stats. Okay. Weapon skills. Fuck no. Let's boost control vigor a bit. Let's see. Control atrophy and nerd and politics. I think I do want to play the conquest. Alexandre Dumont.
All the world has fallen to Kairos, and now the Overlord's eye is on the Tears, our home. The last corner of the world free of Kairos' reign. 2 armies, the Disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus, march south from the Northern Empire, the last realm to fall to Kairos a century prior. In the early days of 428, Kairos' armies arrive at the Gates of Judgment, the mountainous border that we Tearsmen so long believed unassailable. Unable to agree on a unified plan of defense, the various leaders of the Tears sit and wait for each other to deal with the conquerors, until it's too late.
Conquest. During the conquest, you will decide your character's action during Kairos' invasion of the Tears, shaping the world through which you will adventure over the course of the game. Each choice you make will affect your character and how the major faction of the Tears respond to you. You're one of Kairos' conquest. Ooh. The Bastard City. The Bastard City stood on the northern border between Kairos' empire and the Tears. Built upon the natural harbor of the crossroads between realms, the city was a nexus of commerce. To the Tears, it was the center of all wealth. To a northerner, it was little more than a backwater trading post. Its symbolic status as a gateway to the continent made it a natural first target for Kairos' military conquest. Circumstances were ideal for you to prove your worth as a soldier in Kairos' army. Taking the city would send a message to the rest of the Tears. Kairos' will is insurmountable. Gates of Judgment or infiltrate the Tears. History will remember the Gates of Judgment as the first battle of conquest, but the real combat unfolded with advanced units of both armies preparing for the coming war. The Disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus each planned had a plan to infiltrate the capital. Which army did you join? The armies of Kairos took the battle to the gates of judgment, trumpeting the opening call. The two armies brought their distinctive sense of order and chaos. Okay, so I can either join the infiltration or a direct siege. I think I would go with the Scarlet Chorus here. Press into service, because this is probably just pick people off. Join the Scarlet Chorus as they raided the villages and small towns, conscripting every able-bodied man and woman into the army. Voices of Narat emphasized the rewards of conscription and enslavement over wanton bloodshed. Apparently, his soldiers needed reminders. Lent your skill to the elite disfavored scout to capture a border garrison. Graven Ash insisted that an early victory in this offensive would boost morale of the troops and diminish the Yeah, I'm a soldier. The oath-bound scouts identified a modest border defense and collaborated on an organized attack that would leave the enemy uncoordinated, followed by cut off from aid. You oversaw the preparations and offered your opinions on the strategy. When the clashing of the swords and spears fell to silence, followed by the cheers of disfavored scouts, you were the least surprised. Inside Agent. With border garrisons captured by your disfavored allies, you traveled ahead of Kairos' army and lurked in the shadow of a bastard city. You decided that converting one of the locals to Kairos' side would help bring the city to its knees. After all, corruption starts from within. That's not a well-informed guard captain or a fast-talking smuggler. This is who I'd go for. Like, a smuggler may have a way in, but a guard captain would be able to actively cut off actions. You enlisted a bitter captain of the guard to sell military secrets to the disfavored. Better that Kairos' forces march their next inevitable victory well informed. You came to an arrangement with a well-connected smuggler who knew how to sneak agents of the Scarlet Chorus behind the city walls, but the Scarlet Chorus were better operatives than soldiers, and this work required a subtle touch. Yeah, using this I think that makes a lot of sense. After accepting his deserved payment, the smuggler uncovered a long-forgotten tunnel that intersected with the sewers of the bastard city. Armed with the maps of the subterranean layout, your Scarlet Chorus allies fanned out to occupy various city districts under cover. They spent the ensuing weeks murdering key officials and sabotaging defenses wherever possible, weakening the Tears, capital under the very noses of its leaders. Betrayal of a bastard city. Your tactics of infiltration placed you in the bastard city ahead of the main armies. Your work softened the city defenses for the arrival of Kairos' forces, but you wanted a decisive gesture that would give your allies a meaningful advantage. How did you assist in the fall of the bastard city? Spread fear through assassination, incite a riot, duel the city marshal. Keeping to the shadows, you illuminated the leader of the bastard city. Spreading the word of Kairos, you converted the poor and disaffected into a hidden army of the Scarlet Chorus. Once the dust settled, the army wished to bolster their troops with these sleeper cells. Searing palm. Yeah, and I definitely wouldn't do a duel. Inside, I think I do this. Not much to convince. The bastard cities downtrodden. That Kairos was with superior power. You armed them with weapons and knowledge of a signal when you would raise when the time was right. As the army appeared outside the walls, you ignited the spark that fanned their anger into a full-scale riot. The chaos they spread in Kairos' named weakened the city to such an extent that its inevitable fall was just a formality. The bastard city settled into a new state of normalcy. With every tower displaying Kairos' banner, your name was whispered alongside rumors of a decorated career to come. The armies divided into two fronts and migrated south. Tunan sent word that you were to join the next frontier of Kairos' conquest, either as judge and overseer of the settlement of Lethian's Crossing, or as a war advisor, with the armies advancing into the realms of Apex. I think I'd do the crossing. Deposits of iron made the settlement of Lethian's Crossing a strategic war axis. Kairos sent the forge-bound, smith mages with exceptional skill to establish the flow of weaponry. Tunan, the adjudicator, sent one of his fate binders to ensure the enforcement of Kairos' law. Or the Apex, the troops of the mountain realms of Apex stood idle in the safety of their valley, biding their time as their neighbors in the bastard tier tell. In the second year of the war, a joint force of the disfavored and Scarlet Corps crossed over the mountains to take control of Tyr's central valley. So one is going to be crushing resistance directly as like the implement of the law. The other is literal militarized annexation. Alright. We just did a military campaign. Let's do a political one. Years ago, Lethian the Bold founded a small merchant town at the intersection of ancient old walls. Pact between the settlers and a mercenary company meant that caravans were able to travel without fear of bandits or bane. The town thrived in modest insignificance. Lethian's Crossing drew Kairos' attention for the iron deposits in the surrounding hills. With the region under Kairos' control, the northern smith mages could set up workshops to refine ore and arm the disfavored with the finest weapons in the known world. The Archon of Secrets dismantled mercenary support with a generous bribe, taking the crossing in a bloodless victory. Tunan dispatched you to travel alongside Kairos' forces and bring order to the region. So, the iron must flow. You found a clever solution to improve production of iron weapons and armor. The Cult of Siren, the Archon of Song's powers. Siren, Archon of Song, used her arcane charms to lure locals into joining Kairos' army. As patroness of the Scarlet Corps, her efforts were critical in the conscription of new recruits. When an enthralled, disfavored soldier joins her cult, his company feared that the Archon was going out of control and needed to be stopped. I am not doing that. Kyros's smith mages worked day and night to create weapons. No one faulted their dedication, yet production was low. The plans of King Flight proved divisive to the disfavor of the Scarlet Chorus. On one hand, any additional manpower was needed for fighters, not forges. On the other hand, the celebrated weaponry of Kyros's army needed to be fiercely guarded. So I can either take forces from the Scarlet Chorus, or recruit from the outside. You conscripted to help a local tribe of beastmen. Their strength would more than offset their disobedience. The disfavored protested that savages have access to the secrets of iron, but their voices were few compared to the support of the Scarlet Chorus. The Scarlet Chorus were overjoyed to learn of Beastman's conscription and graciously lent their support to your cause. The local beastmen were subdued and yoked to iron-bearing wagons. Their boundless strength and tirelessness proved critical to the smith mages. The disfavored grew agitated about exposing the secret of iron to savages. You attempted to allay their concerns, but your word fell flat before a stubborn, uncompromising audience. A guardian's due. Tensions rose as disfavored and Scarlet Chorus soldiers rubbed elbows with mercenaries hired to guard forges. Pick of the armory. As the forges improved production, both armies demanded preferential treatment. Since you aided the production of weapons, commanders of both armies lobbied for additional arms. They offered all manner of bribes to be next in line for a fitting session with masters of a forge. How did you sate their lust for iron? You allowed no changes to the orderly dispensation of iron and punished those who tried to bribe you twice. Using language that left nothing open to interpretation, you let both of the commanders know that bribery would not be tolerated in Kyros's military, that you didn't stop either of them from seeking you out again, making promises of wealth and advancement if you showed special favor. Deciding that enough was enough, you'd ordered both of the commanders flogged in view of their army, letting pain and humiliation teach them where reason had failed. Who controlled the crossing? Tragedy struck when a mercenary hired by the voices of Nerat injured a forge-bound artisan. Leaving him unable to practice his craft. Tunin ordered that mercenaries leave the city in the hands of Kyros's more responsible servants. Only a token garrison would be left behind while the armies returned to the front, as the disfavored and Scarlet Chorus showed increasing tension and hostility towards each other. Tunin decreed it best that only one force control the crossing. I am granting it to the disfavored because they are a military force, they are not as good, they are better on the front lines, and a token force here would show that it is still well defended, while the Scarlet chorus would take more resources, more people, or it would leave it underdefended. The disfavored placed a modest garrison in the settlement of Leviathan's Crossing. Though a force was larger than might be needed to police the small settlement, protecting the forge-bound ironsmiths became the true agenda of the defense force, as these magical craftsmen kept the disfavored invasion force suited in iron. Relieved at departure of the Scarlet Course, the citizens of Leviathan's Crossing felt they got at least two burdens. You received word from Graven Ash, thanking you for your decision. Forge-bound and their weaponry could not be entrusted to the voices of the rot. Three choices. With mercenaries expelled from Leviathan's Crossing, Kyrus's forces congratulated themselves on bringing order to the settlement and guaranteeing a productive flow of resources. Over the course of this diversion, the army front advanced further into the tiers. Your skills were needed in the realm of Azure, Stalwart, or the Vellum Citadel. Was a library fortress. Ooh, I want that. The largest archive of the written word of the tiers, the School of Ink and Quill protected and maintained the archive of ancient lore for centuries, standing apart from the political upheavals of the younger realms as an enduring pillar of knowledge and culture. I want to go to the library. There's no way I'm going to have to destroy this library. I'm going to have to destroy the library, aren't I? The Vellum Citadel was an archive and library of a massive scale. Its inhabitants were known as the School of Ink and Quill, a circle of mages that, centuries ago, carved out their own mountainous region on lands unsettled by the other major realms. Legends say that the Citadel housed a treasure trove of arcane knowledge. The Overlord's spies infiltrated the school and confirmed as much. The time was ripe to send a detachment to the Great Library Fortress and force the scholars to yield to Kairos. Peaceful surrender turned bloody. A detachment of Kairos' army marched on the Vellum Citadel, expecting an orderly surrender. As they neared the main gates, a blast of arcane energy struck the commanders dead. Suddenly, the highest-ranking officer alive, Kairos' forces looked to you for the next step. The call weighed on your mind, as it had an immediate influence on soldier losses. Order the Scarlet Chorus to attack or the disavowed to a defense. Song of Ensnareth. Siren, Archon of Song, used her power to enthrall enemy mages who crept beyond the citadel walls. After Kairos' forces rounded up the arcane practitioners, the disfavored began executing the new captive before they could share dangerous knowledge, a crime under Kairos' law. Yeah, you punished the disfavored for executing mages bound to the Scarlet Chorus, ordering that several disfavored soldiers be given to the Archon of Song as her personal bodyguard. The wisdom of the sages and knowledge of the Vellum Citadel were too important to silence. The disfavored balked at entering the Archon's service, but your ruling left them with no recourse. Archon Siren delighted in having new toys to play with, and promptly enthralled her personal guard. You spotted them in camp days later, following their new mistress with wide-eyed devotion. The spy master's agents, or right of command. A group of enemy majors surrendered to the disfavored, claiming to be spies loyal to the voices of Narat. No one in the army could verify the claim. The disfavored readied to interrogate the mages, but the Scarlet Chorus protested, demanding that prisoners be given to their custody. They couldn't risk the voices of Narat. No? In his official capacity as the Archon of Secrets, the voices of Narat is equal parts genius and madman. Yes. I'm definitely living within the Scarlet. After secreting them within tents and out of earshot, you presume a discussion or interrogation followed. When asked about the following day, the Scarlet Chorus admitted that they sent the mages to Voices of Narat with an escort, dispatching them under cover of night without due authorization. You reprimanded the soldier for keeping you out of the loop, but there was naught else to be done in the matter. The Edicts of Fire. Disgusted by your approbation of the Scarlet Chorus, the disfavored forces withdrew from the field of battle. Your small but detachment now lacked the manpower to take the Vellum Citadel. Tunin sent word that Kairos' patience had run thin. The Overlord would cast an edict of fire on the enemy. The parchment arrived in a slender case of engraved iron, and had written on it the words of a spell powerful enough to destroy the Vellum Citadel. You had a choice of when to read the edict. Reading it at sunrise would offer your enemies no warning of devastation to come. You could also wait till sunset, giving them ample time to flee, make amends. Give 1 day's warning, give no warning. You met with the enemy under a blue flag of peace and warned them of their doom, giving the Chorus spies and the enemy a chance to run. You confronted the mages without warning and hoped the message was received. The hour before sunset, numerous figures were spotted fleeing the citadel. As the sun dipped under the horizon, you read the words of the edict. The earth shook, and red-orange light glowed in the foundation of the sprawling citadel, bubbling up from under the library. A torrent of lava heaved with explosive force, gushing from windows and between loose bricks, melting winding trenches in the surrounding land. Days later, the flames still raged on, the conflagration continually fed and renewed by the power of the edict. The Edict of Fire. The armies of Cyrus left the devastation of Vellum Citadel in silence. From that day forward, the Tears came to know the once noble citadel as a burning library. It was an undisputed loss of resources, knowledge, culture, and life, but a message had been sent. The Overlord will not tolerate defiance. You didn't have long to rest before Tunin called you into service once more. You were one of the last to depart from the mountains. As you journeyed off, you spotted a few campfires in the mountains. They were mere specks, dwarfed by the inferno. The last gasp of survivors, perhaps looters from Kairos' army, bored and daring enough to pick through the ashes. Conquest complete. You've reached the end of Kairos. Do you want to continue or erase your progress and start over? I will continue.
The year is 431, and Kairos' invasion has shattered all major opposition in the tiers. The Younger Realms, the Bastard Tier, the Free Cities. All who defied Kairos lay broken by battle, or bowed in surrender. The two armies of the Overlord, the Disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus, now control our lands. But our will is not yet extinguished. Not entirely. In the Valley of Vendrian's Well, those of us unwilling to bow to Kairos have banded together in defiance. Violating an oath of surrender from 2 years prior, we have staged a bloody uprising, murdering the Disfavored and Scarlet Chorus garrison in a midnight assault. With their main forces spread across the tiers, the Disfavored and Scarlet Chorus redeploy to Vendrian's Well to crush the resistance. But months pass with no definitive battle. As disagreement and discord paralyze the Archons, we bide our time and wait for our message of insurrection to spread across the tiers. The Overlord is not amused. And Kairos has one message for the Archons. Crush the Oathbreakers, or die. Kairos backs this threat with an edict, a magical commandment that can slay all in the valley should the order be ignored. The honor of proclaiming this edict fell to you. Sent across the mountains to Vendrian's Well, you carry the Overlord's edict to read before the Archons. As you finally make your way through the winding mountain passes into the valley, the ground trembles, and Kairos' magic seals the way behind you. You are trapped in Vendrian's Well, with Kairos' armies and the Oathbreakers. The only way to survive is to fulfill the terms of the
Right. Fifth Binder, Alexandra Dumont, I presume you've been expecting. This fate. Kairos the Overlord be praised. When I heard the avalanche, I heard the valley was sealed, with you on the other side. The disfavored warrior claps her gauntlet to her breastplate, the traditional salute to her legion. The commander would say why the governor of Levian's Crossing would be coming, but since we have no forges here, I imagine you are here to knock some sense into the voices of Narot. She catches herself, clearing her throat with a smile. I mean, mediate with the Archons, so that we might agree on a plan to wipe out the Oathbreakers. But on a personal note, it's good to see another Harbinger. While Scarlet Chorus faces come and go, you've seen a lot of the same disfavored over the years. This is Aurora. Stone Shield of the second cohort. Oh, thank you. Stone Shield of the second cohort, veteran of the original Vendrian's Well campaign 2 years prior. You saw battle with her and her team in the infiltration of the tiers that occurred weeks before the major opening battle at the Gates of Judgment. Those who took part in these daring pre-war raids refer to each other affectionately as Harbingers. I'm in a hurry to deliver a message to the Archon. Come bury an edict of Kairos. Lord 20, can you hear that hum in the air? That glow around the rocks? That avalanche is Kairos' magic. The Overlord has sealed the valley. Your senses seem more in line, good Fatefinder. I do not pretend to know much about such things. But if that was Kairos' magic, and you're here on important business, well, you don't have to be the Archon of Secrets to guess that you're here to proclaim an edict. What does Kairos have in store for the enemy? 10 years of festering plague? An edict of twisted bones? I am in a hurry to deliver. Glare silently. A nervous smile creeps over her as she waits for your response. I am asking questions beyond my station. Forgiveness, please. Well, you've traveled a long way. I won't keep you further. I'm sure the Archons want to hear from you. Did you hear that? More runners. Third time this week. Breakers keep trying to send messengers through the mountains to get help from outside the valley. But they're a bit too late for that now. Come, let's show these Oathbreakers a good fight.
Will do.
Okay, combat. Tyranny uses a plausible real-time combat system. As you will often manage one character at a time, it's a guide to pause the game, issue orders, and resume real time to see the orders play out. The option menu also contains many choices for automatic pausing when certain conditions are met, e.g. to start combat. Press spacebar to pause or unpause the game. Character can always perform basic action using their equipped weapons or their fists if fighting unarmed. Characters also have special abilities and spells they can use in combat. When a character is selected, their ability bar displays their hotkeyed abilities. As new abilities and spells are gained, they are automatically added to the ability bar. All of your character's abilities and spells can be accessed by selecting the category. Ah, okay. To use an ability, left click the ability on icon. For abilities that target party members, click on the party member portrait to target the party member. Okay. All characters in game, friend and foe, have 5 primary defenses against attacks: parry, dodge, darts, will, and magic. These defenses are based on the character's attributes, equipped items, and other effects. A character's accuracy is based on their skill with the type of weapon they're wielding. Accuracy is compared to the appropriate defenses when the attack is made and determine how likely that attack is to hit. Okay. Therefore, possible results: crit hit, graze, and miss. A critical hit increases your damage, while graze reduces it. With each attack, okay. Titan's Touch. Fill the target with a surge of greatness, granting them bonus to might and vitality.
Sorry, I can't. Sorry, I can't. Sorry, I can't.
Why can't I use that? Oh, allied target. Not an ally, I guess?
Can't do that.
There are 6 categories of talents available to your character: leadership, defense, power, ability, agility, ranged, and magic. Each level you put 1 point in purchased categories. Spells are created using 2 or more sigils. The core sigil determines a type of magic, such as fire, frost, or illusion. The expression sigil determines carry on.
Moving cautiously. Sorry, I can't. Sorry, I can't. Sorry, I can't. Can't do that. Trouble is ahead. Can't do that. Will do. Can't do that. Right. I got it. I got it.
You're wounded. It's not trivial justice. This but a scratch. I've seen twice as worse 10 times over. If you'll let me help. I said I'm fine. Graven Ash protects. You go on now.
On the lookout. Can't do that. Try and catch me, worm.
Young Scarlet Fury moves around. Too much lead in her water. We should cut our losses and turn
Fate
back.
finder. Here at last. I got it.
Got them in my sights.
I got it.
They never had a chance.
On it.
Phew. I can tell you didn't spend the conquest in a diplomat's tent. I'm versed, by the way. But there are more important things to take care of than introductions. Those Vendrian guard we killed didn't come alone.
Not so fast. First, explain what you're doing. I have a Vendrian guard attacking now. You fight like a storm. It's your role of the army. You're dismissed, soldier. If I need you, I'll find you at a Scarlet Chorus camp. Fight.
My guess? The Vendrian guard are testing our strength in battle, learning how we perform before they organize a real offensive. That or they're really, really desperate to get beyond the mountains and couldn't wait until nightfall. Eager. I like that. Before we go, you might search among the remains of our fallen comrades. Wherever they're bound, I doubt they'll miss their boots, much less any rings or any useful iron they might be clutching.
In the early years of... Okay. Rings are...
If they deserved my praise, they'd be standing here taking orders.
For the voices of no.
Spell scrolls. Discovered a spell scroll that contains a sigil, an image for a sigil of magic. If a member of your party has a high enough lore, which I should,
Can't do that.
notes, records, tutorial, spell scrolls. If a member of your party has a high enough lore skill, you can learn this sigil and use it to craft spells. If you meet the lore requirements for the scroll, right-click on the scroll icon, then click the Learn button at the bottom of the inspection interface. do you tell what floor level it needs? Dual wielder.
On it.
Stand aside, or your funeral will be over the side of the bluff. Seeing you squarely in his path, the soldier points his weapon towards you. There is no escape. You have orb breakers, no surrender. Run down the oath breakers. Let none escape. Hold position, all of you. You there, keep the path. The warrior gestures along companion threatened by his soldiers. Turn their attention to the Scarlet Chorus. Roaring challenges. No, don't engage them. We need to run.
To battle!
Right. So I
Exhausted myself.
I think that one hit
up spell.
Sorry about that. Will do. Can't do that.
My party member takes damage. Alright, so they come back as soon as combat. Come quick. You have a situation on the cliffside. They have the commander.
I got it. On the lookout. Right.
Show your weapon, or we'll find out how long a man screams before him for ravine down below. Corner between precipitous drop and band of angry soldiers. Holds a different. The Oathbreaker warrior holds a disfavored officer at knife point. You are the man he plainly invited you to use that little blade of yours. What are you waiting for? Permission from your pimp. Release the prisoner, and you might know the inside of a cell. I'm sure that cell will have daily visits. From Scarlet Course to cats thirsty for a bit of torture. Now that's unfair. I assure you, it's more hunger for torture than thirst. But you are correct. We have no charity left for those who have laughed at our mercy once before. If you fools won't deal with him, maybe I will. You heard justice. Let him die. Justice's death will be a setback. He was a fine steward of the steadfast. But with the losses we've sustained in this war, I'm the next in command. I will aspire to be half the leader Justice was. You look down at the papers, her face blushing, and quickly thrust the sheaf towards you. One of the soldiers found some mage blabbering on the Oathbreaker. Mage blabber on the Oathbreakers. I figured you might be trained in letters. Could you perhaps... Repeating the same message in different written scripts. The parchment explains that Viridian Guard desire to overthrow Kairos' Archons and rout their armies from the tiers. The pages aren't addressed to any specific reader, but rather openly invites all who remain loyal to the younger realms to gather at Viridian Point. Recruitment material. They were trying to bring more traitors to the fight. There are likely other groups trying to flee the valley, but we can rest knowing we stopped this group. A shame it's at such a high cost. The Archons are expecting you at a disfavored camp. When you are ready to leave, exit by the southeast gate and keep going away from the foothills.
Sorry, I can't.
Climb the road. You, on the other hand, probably could. But you don't have
Can't
to.
do that. On the lookout.
The prisoners are from Vitarchus clan. He's not just any Oathbreaker. He's one of their leaders. Aurora signals for her men to be by dragging her hand across her back. No mercy for those who foment rebellion. Find a post, string him up. If his wounds don't kill him, thirst, starvation, and infection will do the rest. All must be given a chance to find absolution in service to the Scarlet Chorus. The mage points a finger at the disfavored officer, and you know full well this has always been our way. He has a chance to be slave or soldier. Only then do we feed him to the pigs. I tire of this nonsense. You keep recruiting these oath-breakers, and you fail to inflict orders, and they defect. And we have to fight them all over again. I will not let another one of these self-knobs come back to haunt us. While I insist this oath-breaker be taken to the voices of Nerlot, leaving us at an impasse. Fortunately, we have a Fatebinder here to settle the matter for us. So, what say you? What should become of a prisoner? The chorus should be allowed a chance to recruit new warriors. If that is how you wish it, the prisoner will go to the Scarlet Chorus. But mark my words, treating these curs with kindness has been and continues to be a mistake. If it will calm your nerves, I will assure you this one won't be put on the battlefield. The mage snaps her fingers loudly, gesturing for her game to listen. Make sure the prisoner is taken straight to the voices of Nerot. Until next time, Fatebinder, I know you have important business in the valley. No point keeping you. For the glory of Talos. Fatebinder, what an honor it has been to have one of Tunon's court visit a humble holdfast. Need supplies? If so, you've come to the right place. How's trade? Oh, this is a service posting, no profit up here in the pass. That's Harchan's bronze orders, but when we march out of the valley, I'm back on my own schedule, and here's hoping the year will be good. The Overlord forbids the extortion of the pathways, good thing too, because in years past I'd lose most of my profits to tolls. Couldn't turn a copper if I tried to haul long distance. I trust you've been granted proper stewardship of the goods you are peddling. Well, you see, Fatebinder, I think so. I've been handed these bit of scripts, and reaches across a stack of provisions to snatch a scroll case. But I'm not a woman of letters. Numbers are my strength, as you can well imagine. Let me see those. Certainly, good Fatebinder. Cursor read indicates this merchant is granted unlimited rights to trade in the logistical capacity, but not supporting an active battle. She has the right to trade grain, copper, and olives anywhere in the tiers. This all seems in order. Where did you get these? Archie Brown acquired these on my behalf. Archon Tunon's agent, I believe. Your expression shows deep concern. Do you see any issue? This all seems to be in order. Let's see what you have. Lesser stat of atrophy. Let's get some of those. Alright. I would love to learn. Love to learn. doesn't seem to have a... Is this a different kind of scroll? That's a little confusing. So, I now have a lightning sigil. Sigil of Timeless Force. Accent that increases the duration of a spell's effect. I like that. That's a decent. We buff that spell. Single target. Right.
On the lookout. Can't do that.
Once pure water of Queen's tears. Ah, that wasn't confusing at all.
Can't do that.
Not happening.
Alright. My subterfuge is not... Ooh, I can talk to person. Can't help but notice you were eyeballing this favorite symbol littered around the camp. It's hardly a symbol, just a scroll. Actually, I have other questions. That's true, but it used to be a pride of Graven Ash's Legion before Kairos made them deface it. What happened? Word has it that Ash has been under more scrutiny than the other Archons, seeing as he took a stand against Kairos in the past, and the other Archons keep him on a tight leash. Even though he bent the knee in the end, that doesn't place him above suspicion. Kairos and the other Archons keep him on a tight leash. Ash's troop impressed the growing empire. But Kairos made them sacrifice everything they were up to the point Ash surrendered. They had been disfavored ever since, and fighting to earn back their honor. I've heard enough.
Can't do that.
Alright. So, we're actually going to save here. And I'm now pretty confident that it is potentially Talos Principle 2 that's causing these issues. Which would fucking suck. Anyway, I'm off. I've got some stuff to do today, so I will see you later. Have a nice day, everyone. Bye.